Have you ever wondered why that certain item you wanted was worth a certain amount of paper? Or how even paper can get you what you want? I know I did when I was a little kid in the grocery store with my mom, looking at the candy bar on the shelf. You can probably guess what my artifact is by now. But if you haven't, it's money. Money is a very common artifact that is found in American culture. It's what drives the economy and what people tend to base their lives on obtaining. I'm no economics professor, but to reinforce my knowledge and to clarify any doubts I've had, I've done research prior to this speech about my artifact. I hope to show you why money is part of the American culture. Today, I'll discuss how money is part of the American culture, and then I will conclude with how I identify with it. Money used to have a gold or silver standard, which meant that you could take your money into the government and exchange it for gold or silver based off the exchange rate set. However, this is no longer the case. Money has adopted the idea of fiat currency, which means that it has its own abstract existence and value that the government endorses, which allows it to have that value. However, there are risks with using fiat currency due to the fact that it holds no real value. For example, if a government that endorses that monetary value ceases to exist, then the people's money is now rendered absolutely useless and worthless. The American culture puts a lot of emphasis on material things and economic holdings to measure success. This allows people to be placed in certain statuses and certain classes that define them. However, money also represents a lot of American culture, which you can find through the symbols and pictures that are placed on them. Money is used in American culture through the exchange of money for goods and services. Money is spent to buy the essential things such as food, water, shelter, and so on. And then with the leftover money, people are allowed to buy whatever they want, such as new shoes, new cars, hats, clothes, whatever you want. This ends up being an endless cycle which allows people to work to obtain more money and then spend it on needs and wants. Money is also a very scarce object, which is why it allows people who have more of it to be of higher status and hold more power. Well, now some of you guys may ask me, how in the world does money represent American culture? Well, without it, America would not be where it is today and would not function the same way it does. Like I stated before, money technically has no value and technically has no more use than any other paper you'll find. Its value purely comes from the belief of the people and that the government that ensures the people that the money that they work so hard for will still uphold the same value in the future. If money represents power and success in America, then money must also be part of the American culture. Knowing this, people work hard to obtain more money because people know other people want money as well, which is why the system works. Money also, like I stated before, holds a lot of history on the symbols and pictures that are placed on it. For example, some have our previous presidents on them, and some have symbols that represent the very roots of this culture. One example is that there's an American eagle that are placed on some currency, on American money, that represents war and peace, independence, and freedom, which are the very basis and foundation of this culture. Now, moving on to why I identify with this culture. Well, this culture is important to me because I'm a natural-born citizen, and I've lived here all my life. American culture has allowed me to pursue the things I love to do. I've not lived anywhere else, so I've adopted this way of culture as my way of life. Things are run a certain way, and I have to accept that. I cannot go out and make rules and exceptions and expect to succeed. However, the main reason why this culture is important to me is because my parents. My parents never had the same opportunities as I did because they grew up in the villages of China. They would work very hard on a daily basis in order just to obtain a day's meal or to obtain clean water. School was very limited to them, and they would spend most of their days just trying to support their families. When they moved to America, this American culture has allowed them to receive an education, accumulate wealth, and live a much more comfortable life. Through this, they were able to successfully raise a family and put every single one of their children through school and receive an education, and supply them with anything they'll need to succeed, which luckily, I'm one of them. These values are important to me because, like I stated before, it allows me freedom. This culture also allows people to practice any religion they choose, while in other countries it may be illegal to practice another religion. This culture also allows me to pursue any career that I choose without being forced to choose a certain profession. American culture is also very accepting of a diverse community and welcomes people from all around the world to live here without people feeling out of place. Now in conclusion, I talked about why money is part of the American culture, and I also talked about how I identify with it. Now money is a very powerful object. In large quantities it can be used to obtain just about anything you want. However, money does represent American culture very well. Sometimes just take a step back and take a look at those small bills that you use and appreciate American history and American culture that has given you what you have today. Thank you.